Figure that's about the best time as any to do a transition. But it doesn't really seem like it's transitioning the sound from the camera. So I'm gonna have to actually take a second here, pull up my stream just so that way I can confirm that sound is actually going through like I expect it to. Now, where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Okay. So I just got to pull up the stream really quick on my laptop. That way I can hear it through my headphones. And if I get a double sound of the audio, let's see. Just got to add in that. Give it a name. Give it a name. A little bit of a discordant melody there. That should work now. Okay. So I can hear my phone buzzing in the corner, but I can't actually see the messages because, show this. My webcam is my cell phone now. So I've got a free USB port. So the only way that I can really get any of my messages is by checking on an app on my laptop. So I might lose my camera here for a second. Yeah, I'm gonna lose the camera for a second. Okay. Just got to allow some settings, and boom. That should work now. Okay. So I'll have all my notifications showing up on my screen. That way I can, not have to worry about things. Okay. I just got to deal with some... Yeah, so the notifications I think are just going to keep popping back and forth as long as if I get text messages. Or not, actually. It seems to be working okay. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's going to do that every time that I get a text message on my phone. So it's a lot easier to deal with things through computer right now. But it's about the best that I have at the moment. So it's all I can really work with. Do let me know if the audio is a little bit wonky in terms of volume, because I don't want to make the desktop audio too loud. I feel like it might have been a little bit loud with the singing, and I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so that's still working. Yeah, everything seems like it should be working. Okay. So, let's paint ourselves an owlbear. So, this is the mini that I've got for this week. It's a Reaper brand, Bones Black Series Owlbear. It's a very interesting type of creature. They're essentially created by wizards when they get a little bit too crazy with their experiments. And, well, it quite literally is an owl mixed with the bear. It's got a good old bear paw and some really nicely detailed feathers in here. And I'm really hoping that it'll actually shine through once I get some of the paint on here, because the detail on these feathers that I can see it really well is it just looks so crisp on these things, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this will actually play out. As far as color on this guy, like, I'm not entirely sure how dark I want to make him look, but I definitely want it to be kind of a shade of darkish brown. So I just gotta grab my mini stand over here, something to put this guy in so I can paint him. Will he fit, I wonder? I don't know if he will fit, actually. Ooh, yeah, he don't fit. Him don't fit. Let's see if I can finagle it. Nope, can't finagle it. So this guy's gonna be a paint by hand because I can't fit him into the mini holder because it's not designed for that, unfortunately. It's designed for minis up to, like, I think 40 millimeters, I think, and this base is probably like probably closer to 50 millimeters, so it's a little bit too big. So I'll have to keep that in mind when it comes to choosing minis to paint, which is kind of a bummer because I was really hoping that I'd be able to paint this thing a little bit more stable. But I guess we're gonna have to paint this guy in the old school style, just holding it in our hands. Which, by the way, before I get started with everything tonight, I just wanted to say that all of the minis that I've been using, well, with the exception of the Owlbear, every mini that you can see that I've painted up in this corner here was actually purchased at a friend of mine's place. A friend of mine, named Eric, actually runs a place called the Gaming Goat in Parma, and he has all these really great selections of minis and board games, and I mean games that I've never even heard of. And every mini for Pathfinder, D&D, what's it called? Warhammer 40k. He's got 3 different brands of paints that he stocks, and they're all really nice. Almost everything that I use, I've purchased from his store, with the exception of brushes, which I've owned for a couple of years, and the original paint kit that I purchased. I bought that online about 2 years ago, I'd say 2-3 years ago. But let's see what we want to do with this guy. So we're definitely going to need tanned skins, muddy brown, definitely. What else do I have here? That's copper. These are all coppers. Parasite brown. I'll definitely keep that because I'm curious to see how it'll actually work out for that color. Maybe try and mix in a little bit of yellow and that's a wash. Don't want to use the washes for it, so maybe bring out some gray, some black, and so we got white and ivory. So probably going to test out a few different colors for this and see where we go. Because I really like to start with the base of muddy brown. Give it a nice solid brown coat to start off with, and work from there. Give it a good shake. And yeah, we'll start off using the original paint holder. Palette. That's what they call these things, right? Palettes. I'm going to need quite a bit of brown for this guy because he's rather large. Get some nice calm music here to start off with for the night. And we'll see how well this takes the paint. Dark brown. You know, I'm thinking this might be a good good tone to start with. And I might end up going back over this thing after everything is said and done with maybe a gray wash or something, just to give them a little bit more dinge. But it's actually holding pretty well. It seems to be going into all of the crevices. It's definitely going to need a second coat. But just kind of giving it a start is enough at the moment. Ooh, those are going to be some nice details to work with underneath here. Getting into the feathers on the arms. Oh, this is going to have some really nice little hues to it. Although, unfortunately, at the moment, I'm not too sure how I feel about the white balance of my webcam. So I might have to tinker with that a little bit. As time goes on, who knows? We'll see. But since we're starting this guy off with just a standard base coat, I don't have to worry about mixing to get an optimal color. Ooh. And I also don't have to worry about it getting all over me, because I can just put it back on the Mini. Pretty decent way to start them off, I think. Definitely using more paint than I think is necessary, but since I've got time on my hands tonight, I can make sure that I cover everything here, and I can just spread this paint around. Oh, I almost forgot the palm of his hand. Is it just me, or does it feel like these bards are slightly out of tune with each other? Or out of tempo? Out of tempo, I think, is probably the best way to describe it. This guy's got a lot of neat little details in here in his fur. I'm gonna have to make sure to get every single bit of this. And also at the same time really hope that this all soaks in. Like, I don't think it's going to soak in. It's probably just going to coat the exterior surface of this Mini. So who knows? Depending on how this turns out, I may just waste like 3 to 4 hours of time to have to go back and just strip the whole thing down. You know, that music is really kind of odd at the moment. Who do I turn off here? Are you too loud? Now those I want lower. You I want higher. I want the voices a little bit more in tune with everything here. If it was the music, I think the music would be... I'm just realizing that I'm painting a little bit off screen here. So I'm going to raise up the camera a bit. Here we go. Make sure everything stays on screen. Yeah, the paint is getting really into the cracks there. And unfortunately, I can't get it close enough to zoom in on the camera here. But I think if I were to zoom in a little bit more, it just wouldn't really show too well. But we're getting a pretty good amount of paint in there. So for a base coat, this isn't really that bad. What do you think? Should I make sort of like this coat or this color, sort of like his standard color, and it's kind of muddy brown, like it actually is like its name. It's like a very muddy color to him. It's not bright, but it's not dark. Get him into the light a little bit better there. Yeah, that's pretty accurate to how he looks. I'm kind of thinking once I get all of this dry, I might make his feathers. I kind of want to go with lighter a little bit as we get further in. Like keep his torso relatively darkish brown. Might add a little bit of black to some brown just to see if it gives me the color hue that I want. But I'm thinking I might make... Yeah, I might make like the tips of the feathers the darkest point and then lighter as we get further back. Just seeing how that holds up for it. Since I don't have the mini holder, holding the mini is a little bit tough on the hands. My palm is starting to cramp up just a bit. I've only been painting for, what, 20 minutes, not even? Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to be waiting for this guy to dry at points. I'm not going to be able to hold him up and get into all of the little details and nooks and crannies that I want to get. At least not while he's wet. I don't want him to be dripping paint. I don't want the paint to get smudged off by my hands as I'm just grabbing and pawing at this guy. Which, the inspiration, I'm guessing, for a little bit of the bear puns that you're probably going to hear tonight, definitely come from, Critical Role did a one-shot where they were playing completely different characters in an area that, you know, the main campaign never really gets to see. As far as Campaign 2 has come to show. We'll slide this camera over more here. Oops. I'll put this camera right on the edge. There we go. Much closer to the action, I think. Yeah, they went to an area of the world that they didn't really get to showcase after Campaign 1. And one of the characters that they created, specifically this one was created by Taliesin Jaffe, was a character named the Owlbear. And throughout the course of the episode, he made a lot of, albeit, I can't really call them terrible puns, because they were pretty funny. But he made a lot of owl and bear-related puns throughout the night. It was really fun to watch. Kind of wish that I would have had, and at some point I'm hoping that it might become a reality to see a Critical Role show live, because that would just be fantastic. Yeah. And I think this is a good place to start for the first layer here. Get them soaked in a bit. Don't want to be touching my shorts here while I'm working, but kind of wondering what I want to do for this base. I'm definitely going to do like black ring around this base here because it's got an actual solid base. That's just going to be, solid black. Probably going to keep these rocks brown, but I did purchase, you know what? It's actually up in my bedroom. So I'm actually going to have to go upstairs and grab it. I purchased another type of green paint. It looked a little bit more grassy than a lot of the paints that I currently have that are green. So I figured it would work rather well for, this kind of area. Ah! Back here. Just kind of gotta keep at it. I think this guy will look really nice once I mount him onto his base. Gonna have pretty solid stance in this thing. That'll be really nice. Okay. Just gotta get all the excess brown paint out of this brush. Oof. Yeah, that was a lot of excess brown. Get it clean, clean, clean. Nuts. I think I got some paint down in the ferrule here because it's splitting pretty solidly there. I don't like that. Oh, that means I'm gonna have to do a bit of cleaning on that brush. But fortunately, a lot of the brushes that I purchase for things like, just large area painting like that, they're not too expensive. I could buy a pack of brushes and just get them at a local hobby store or go to a craft store. Yeah, because it's starting to split open here, and once you could see the bristles are starting to separate like that. Oops, smack the camera stand. Sorry. Once they start doing stuff like that, then you got something in there to work with, or work to fix, I should say. Can you even see that? No, it's too far up. But I'm actually kind of liking having the phone being the webcam up there. Let's see, another notification. Yeah, I'm all good. Okay, let's see. I think while I wait for these guys to dry, I'm gonna go upstairs really quickly and grab my oh, what do you call it? The green paint that I purchased. Take a quick swig of this real quick. Notification. Okay. Just an email real quick. So I'm gonna be back in a sec. I gotta go grab another paint thing. Paint pot. Alright. Ran upstairs. Grab some more paints. I'm wondering what this green will end up looking like. And I had to get myself another tube of black, tube of white. Really wondering what this green's gonna look like. So, let's see. Almost dry on the base. This guy's wing is gonna take a little bit longer to dry, it seems. So I'm probably gonna wait a few more minutes before I go back and try to do a second layer on him. Which, in the meantime, just because of how open this camera is here, I think I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Let's see. Can I do that? It doesn't really seem like I can. But I think I could do it just by touching the phone. Nah. Can't do it. Oh well. There was an app that I was able to use at one point. I think it might have been on my last phone. That I was able to... how do I describe it? I was able to use my phone through my computer. So I would just have my camera, working, and well, I'd have my phone sitting there with me and I'd be using it. And once I had to set it down or plug it into charge, I could open up my computer, still respond to text messages, I could open apps, I can read emails on my phone, just by opening that app. Doesn't really feel like it got a good mixing in there. Shake this guy up real good. Let's see. More green. It's more mixed in. Not necessarily more green, but it works. The base is pretty solidly dry. Yeah. Wow. That is very bright green. Might be too bright of a green. I wonder if I just add in a little bit of the turf. Bit of turf green. A couple drops of that. Just to bring the color down a smidge. There we go. Let's drop in a couple of drops of that. And let's see if it changes our shade just a bit. And not as much as I would like. But we'll see. Yeah. It's not bad. And if it doesn't fill it all the way in, that actually is even better. There's a little bit of feel of... like there's dirt in between all the grass, you know? Like a little bit of realism. Because you don't necessarily always see just grass everywhere when you're walking in the woods. Sometimes there's some dirt. Sometimes you got a bit of moss. And if I just get it into his footprints, that'll put everything together there. Kinda like that, actually. Probably still gonna go back over it with a bit of the brown just on top of the rocks. To make sure that the rocks stay their earthen brown tone. I'm gonna go back over a couple of those with some brown. But it makes his base look a lot nicer, I think. Let me see, does that change anything if I turn that down? Doesn't really do a whole lot. Losing the lighting in there. But, like I said, I might just go and change the brightness in my settings here for a second. Just give me 1 second to adjust this camera. This. Configurator. And adjust. Well, if I finagle things a little bit, increase some brightness. Kind of makes it look a little bit nicer. Yeah. That actually makes it look a little bit better. Like, you can see everything more clearly. Let's see, needs me some brown, but also needs me a smaller brush. Ooh, that's getting really thin there. Running real low on those. Yeah, just a little bit of brown back on the stones. So that way they stick out a little bit more. Just gotta get this side over here. Go. There we go. Those stick out a little bit more. In fact, I might even add just a little bit of gray into it, just to make it a little bit more stone. A little bit more stony. Yeah. Make it a little bit different compared to the dirt beneath it. Ooh. Or, you know, can make the dirt a little bit more stony. Like, I look at this and it kind of reminds me of, you know, like when you were a little kid and you would find just rocks in the playgrounds, or, well, not really in the playgrounds, but like you went into the woods, or just, you know, around a place that hadn't been like fully dug out. You'd see, you know, still dirt, but some of the stones that were more almost like a tan added to them a little bit more. Not so much the typical like stone gray kind of stuff, but, you know, like the dirty rocks that you would see around the woods. And, you know, I might eventually just come back through with a little bit more of that green just to see how it combines. I kind of like that. Looks nice. Well, while I'm pretty sure the Owlbear is probably dry by now, but I also kind of want to leave this thing to dry for a while. So I think I'm gonna just top this guy off with a little bit more. Like, I'm just gonna add this. Whoops. I'm gonna add this black along the rim there and leave that to dry for a period of time. That might be enough, actually. I guess we shall find out. Some of my brushes are starting to get a little worn in. Not too fond of that. But unfortunately, I am still learning quite a bit when it comes to painting and caring for my brushes. So, unfortunately, I'll make mistakes and have to replace brushes because I was too careless about taking care of them. This brush is still really wet. You know, That's what I forgot to bring down with me. Forgot to bring down the paper towel. That way I could soak up a little bit of that excess water. Kinda keep everything nice and dry. Because you don't want to have, you know, all your paint become runny. From having excess water in your brush. I mean, there's definitely methods and media where you want that to happen. But for me, I don't want that. I want it to be nice and opaque. Good solid tone to it. I don't want it to be, you know, transparent or have all of the brush paint go into the crevices. I just don't want that to happen, you know? So, where I really like dry brushing. Get some more of you in here. Just to get in and cover up some of the black that I brushed. And I'm also going to just drop a dab of this brown under here too. Just to kind of keep the colors going there. Okay. I'm not too keen on how that little spot right there looked, but no worries. Hey, Feisty, how you doing tonight? Feeling better? You got distracted doing nothing. I can totally relate to that. I got myself home, grabbed some food, and kind of just didn't really do anything for a while. But yeah, I'm really liking the way that it looks, because like, wow, this is literally right out of the box. The best kind of Friday? Yeah. I mean, I kind of wish that, you know, things were a little bit nicer to us today. Like with hearing, you know, you seem to be having a hell of a day, and I'd mentioned the day that I had yesterday, so it's kind of nice to be able to just sit and not have to worry about anything for a little while, just relax. I mean, got some little bit of music going in the background, which I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. It might be a little bit too quiet. I'm noticing that like the volume on my mixer is really low, so I might have to turn that up a bit, or I can turn the volume on my end down, but I can raise the volume a bit in Serenscape. There we go. That might be a little bit better. My voice is still, yeah, I noticed it was really quiet. Yeah, I turned the volume down on my end so that way my headphones are quieter, but chill AF, huh? Mm-hmm. And I remembered to keep myself hydrated. Got myself some Arnold Palmer. Basically an Arnold Palmer. It's half lemonade, half iced tea, so it's nice and delicious. A little bit of sweet, but not too sweet. And then, yeah, there's our cute little owl boy. I also turned up the brightness on my camera, so I'm hoping he doesn't get washed out. But yeah, the paint really took to the cracks in here. Oh, did I miss some spots? I did. Oh, I just noticed I missed a few spots while I was painting with the brown. So, let's get some more brown. And get back to painting the Owlbear itself. As I had mentioned a little bit ago, that he's... yeah, his color looks super even, but it's just one color. It's just a single base coat of brown, just to get everything to soak into the cracks. Kind of like what I did with the fire elemental. I'm just starting it off with a base layer to get a consistent color all the way across. And then once I've got that consistent coloring, then I can adjust the colors of his feathers and his fur, which I'm kind of debating on whether or not I want to go lighter on his feathers. Because like he's got, 3 layers of feathers here, which is a little bit tough to see, but he's got 3 distinct layers of feathers, which all have their own little details inside of them. So I'm hoping that by the time I'm done, I'll be able to go back over with a wash to just soak into those little cracks and crevices to make the details in the feathers pop. But in the meantime, I gotta make sure that his coloring is done. Let's see. Oh, another spot I missed. Just soak back into there. But it feels kind of weird using a wet brush. I'm so used to dry brushing my figures. Like I'm just getting in there with wet paint as opposed to just the typical kind of viscous paint that I normally use for this thing. And I'm really hoping that that detail eventually pops. But the detail on the figure itself is already worth it. I mean, the fur is just phenomenal on this thing. And there we go. Yeah, you could see the detail in the feathers. Just look at that. Oh, man. I really want to make this thing pop. Oh. I'm excited. If you couldn't tell. Let's see. What do I want to make it like? I'm thinking if I were to go with a little bit of like a lighter brown and then maybe, I don't know, maybe a tinge of white on the very tips, or a tinge of like this tanned skin on the tips of the feathers might be kind of nice. Because I haven't really looked at any paints of it, so I don't know. I did show the picture of the owlbear from last time. Let me see if I can pull that guy up again really quickly here. Excuse me. If I pull up the image of that owlbear again, just that way I know what it actually looks like. This has been a little while. But while I look for that, how has your evening been going? Has the migraine been going away as time's been going on? Because I was also thinking to myself, I was like, well, I know Feisty's not feeling too well, but she's also really kind of excited for this owlbear. So I was hoping that once I got it finished and everything, I was going to put... Oops, I keep smacking this thing. I was actually going to throw it up on YouTube, just so that way I can let you take a look at it whenever you want it. In and out, feeling better? I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better, but yeah, if you have to dip, I'm definitely going to be pulling this thing as soon as I can, and I'm just going to throw it up unedited. You can just, sit down, relax with some paint, jump to any point, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to hear a little bit of a soothing story, some bardic music. Yeah, I'm really excited for tomorrow. Was there a time determined? Because I remember there being mention of it of like 5:30 or 6-ish, but I don't know if that actually was finalized. 5:30 meetup, 6 playtime. Nice. Yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned anything about my character. I don't think I've mentioned anything in stream or in chat. But basically, I'm actually going to go like decked out to the nines, so to speak, for my character, because he's a halfling wizard. And basically, I'm going to kind of play him a little bit like a... he's going to be a little southern. And not really... he's not really going to be the most flamboyant character. But, I can't really find the picture of that owlbear. But what I'm really hoping to do is I'm actually going to pull out some... I got a couple of flannel shirts in my closet. I'm going to throw on one of them and just, get like some suspenders going here, so that way, if people decide that they want to use their webcams for everything, I can actually show off the character. You're getting in full character? Woo! Can I ask for any details, or would you rather leave it for a surprise for tomorrow? Oh, yeah, I'm getting full into character, sorry. Yeah, I read that wrong, my bad. Kind of the downside of having the chat being like 4 feet away, like I can't... I'm reaching out my arm and I'm almost halfway to chat. You're nervous about playing? I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about 5e, and the group that we've got so far is just been so chill about everything that I don't think there's gonna be anybody who's like over the top taking over everything, but I really feel like the group is gonna be pretty chill and, really understanding and really accepting, especially since we've got a few people that are new players entirely. Little Twiggy is hyper extroverted, so she leaves her granny and people in the forest to make friends that aren't just animals. And also meet more animals. That'll be nice. Yeah, this week has been just chaos for so many people. But as far as coordinating stories, that might be something that we can do as time goes on. Yeah, it's definitely something where I'm even me, even though I've been a DM for a few years, I've been a player as even longer. But every time that I sit down for a session with a new group, the introvert in me kind of takes over. So I'll definitely be shy, but also at the same time, my character is not necessarily outspoken, but he might make an overly complex example for situations. He tends to overthink. But like I'd mentioned with the backstories and all that, there isn't really too much of a need for backstories, since it's just going to be a one-shot right now, and you can kind of let it develop organically. If you get a really cool idea, you can just go, yeah, this was definitely a thing that my character would have done in the past, and just elaborate as time goes on. Kind of the nice thing about D&D storytelling is the amount of improv that you can do. But at the same time, if you don't really feel like you're up to improving some stuff, you can always just, take like real life examples of things. Like, you can use some aspects from your own day-to-day life to kind of embellish a little bit. But I got a really good feeling about tomorrow. At some point I should probably go grab that paper towel. But let's see, what kind of color do I want to do for this guy? You love in-character improv? Yeah, it's always fun to do, you know, just like when you really embody the character. It's definitely a different feeling. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I tend to, I have a tendency to lean a couple of different ways when it comes to when I play a character. Let's see, I've done, like hyper-exaggerated, like the aggressive character. Not really not really violent, but just like aggressive. Probably one of my favorite moments from the first character that I got to play in 5e was I was a cleric, and he was not a religious cleric. He was more like, nature is awesome. You fuck with nature, you fuck with me. So there was a group that we were not really so much like tracking them down, but we found this group in a cave, and they were, you know, kind of being little shits about nature around them, you know, not really taking care of the area around them. And I mean, they were the bad guys. So they would have attacked us on sight, so we decided that my character was going to go in first. I decided, you know what? I'm going to have some fun with this. I'm literally going to, in like one action, I'm literally going to pull out my mace, kick the door into this built-in area in this cave, and I just yelled, "What's up, bitches?" as I cast a spell that sent out these giant spiritual figures that aided me in combat. And then we rolled initiative. And I just kept pulling aggro the whole time. I just kept yelling things at them. This is definitely a lot lighter. So let me see how this plays with the brown. This is Parasite Brown, so I would have figured it would have been darker, but it's not as dark as I had thought it would be. Yeah. It's definitely like a moment. But at the same time, it's where things can get really fun. But you never want to hear roll initiative when it's like in a calm scenario. You're just like, yeah, you know, we're wandering into an alley. Roll initiative. What? What's there? Just roll initiative. You'll find out. But one thing that I've heard from a few friends in the past is that when they try to get into their character for D&D, they kind of equated it to, you know, like like your standard LARP. You're just embodying a character. So they didn't have much difficulty getting into their characters when they were out at a LARP. So they just treated it as a smaller LARP. What brush do I want to use for this smaller ink? Let's see. So I like this color. It's lighter, but not too light. I'm thinking this might make a good... This would probably be good for the inner feathers, like the innermost feathers. It's kind of nice. I'm pretty sure it's going to... that's a lot more paint than I had hoped I would get onto the brush. Pull some of that off and try to dapple it in there. That's kind of nice though. I like the way that looks. It's a little bit of contrast, but not too much, you know? And I'm thinking for the rest of them I might actually go darker brown for the feathers. Definitely keep the light feathers underneath, but might go dark brown on the outside of the bear. Like out here, I think these are going to be darker. The inside ones are definitely going to be the lighter feathers. Tricky spot to try and get into here. Also, while I'm painting, I'm trying not to like breathe onto the microphone. Well, not really the microphone, but like the stand that I have set up here is kind of really close to me. Oh. We got some tunes going here. You guys got some pipes? But I've always had fun with D&D. I just, honestly, I kind of wish that I would have kept with the first couple of games of D&D that I ever played. My first experience with D&D was 3.5, and while I was playing 3.5, I made a couple of really badass characters. I really liked them. I was really happy with the characters. And then, they just straight up died in the first session that we played, and I was just like, well, I guess I don't have a character anymore. And, I just sat down on the couch and, watched some TV while the rest of the guys finished up the session. And I, just stopped playing D&D for about 10 years. Say lovey. And, a friend of mine introduced me to Critical Role, and, I got back into it. And I've been pretty hooked ever since. I've got nearly every book for 5th edition. So I've got quite a few $100 linked into this game so far in the last like 4 years. Not to mention the let's see, the dice, books, some dice, books, miniatures. I've got so many miniatures. It's insane. I have boxes that are, well, I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I have boxes that are probably 18 inches by 18 by 18 by 3 inches deep, just filled with miniatures. Hope that, Someday I'll actually get to pull a lot of them out. Because right now, some of my minis are just taking up space in storage. Let's see how this brown with a bit of yellow shades out. So I think this might be kind of nice for the second layer of feathers. Underside of the wings. I'm gonna need more yellow. Yeah, like 3 drops of brown for every, or 3 drops of yellow for every, I think, like 3 or 4 drops of brown. More yellow. More yellow. So I kind of want these next levels, next layers, to just kind of stand out a little bit, you know? And the front of it, I might just go straight into the parasite brown, because it's more like a yellowish, orangey brown. I figured that'd be nicer, or something like that. And then I can still do some accents on the colors. Clear out the water out of the bristles. Let's see how this looks. A little brown. Show him some yellow. Cool. Other way around. A little bit of yellow mixed in with some brown. Because I don't want to make his colors too bright, you know? Like if I make him too bright, it just wouldn't really... Like I don't feel it would be as intimidating as this owlbear is like posing. Like he's got a really menacing pose. I want to make it a rather imposing figure. I'm not 100% sold on it, but kinda dig it. That little change, just a little bit, is enough to really kind of sell that it's a second layer of feathers. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. It's not as easy to see through the camera, I don't think. Yeah, not as easy to see yet. But there's definitely a noticeable difference. That's too much paint. Let's just make sure that we don't accidentally paint over the last things we painted. Oh, but let's see. More stories. Ah, there's a good one. One of my favorite moments in D&D so far. We were trying to deal with a witch who had basically a walking house. Think like Howl's Moving Castle. You know, a big chicken legs walking house in the middle of this swamp. So while we are tracking her down, the group decides to, you know, kind of separate to check things out. So my group stumbles upon sort of like an animal pen, and we discern that these animals are being used as a sacrifice for her magical rituals that grant her the power that she's been using to hold over, hold a grip over all of the people nearby. So we managed to break these goats out. By the way, this is also my character who loves nature. Aldrich. Never really gave him a surname. Maybe one of these years. But as we are dealing with these goats, apparently the other members of the party found the witch. Well, that was not necessarily a great thing, because after finding the witch, she does not like us there. She wants to destroy us. So, roll initiative. The party that's fighting the witch is dealing with a lot of explosions and a lot of just bolts of energy and magic that are radiating out from the battlefield. My group, we're about like 100 yards away through some trees and around a building, so we see all this stuff kind of just happening around us. The rest of the group that's with me starts heading off in that direction. And my brilliant ass decides, you know what? I've got this ability that my character has that I've never been able to use, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to use it again. I tried to charm animal, and I made every goat that was there, about a dozen of them, I think, roll to see if they... You have a choice. Either make your way south and get the hell out of here as far as you can from this witch, or join us in glorious combat against your previous captor. I think about 6 of them failed the roll. So, I led a group of goats into combat against this witch. Her house didn't like that. So, well, the goats are faster than me. They get up ahead and they get around the corner and through some trees, and I'm just trying to keep up. My character didn't notice, or didn't know, that as the goats made their way into the battlefield, the house had a turn. And it, crush, boulder throw, slam. It killed all the goats in like 2 turns, and my character was still another round away. So, yeah, my character did not know that all those goats died. And he was kind of the reason they died, because he sent them off to go fight. And to this day, he still doesn't know where he still doesn't know where the barbarian got the mutton. Like, I swear you didn't have that when we got here. Where did you get mutton? Found it. Fair enough. But yeah. We had quite a few laughs with Viva Ba Revolution. It was a good time. Unfortunately, the player that came up with the Viva Ba Revolution naming, she did continue to play with us for a while, but unfortunately, real life circumstances kind of prevent her from ever playing D&D again. So, her characters and her humor will live on. But, unfortunately, the last characters that she made are the last ones we will ever have. And boy, did she make some fun characters, too. In fact, she's part of the reason that I'm going to be making my next batch of mead. I wanted to do a tea mead at some point. I was like, you know, this could be rather fun to do. So, I started thinking about what kinds of teas I wanted to do, and nothing really inspired me. But, just kind of the inspiration that she gave for it ended up, giving me the idea to do a hibiscus mead. So, I managed to get myself some hibiscus flower and some hibiscus tea bags. And over the next month or so, I'm gonna be setting it all up to make Sundew's Solace. It's gonna be a hibiscus mead with unfiltered Ohio wildflower honey. Might have to go back over a couple of spots here with just plain brown. Or maybe once everything's dry, cured for a couple of days, I might try to do a little bit of a brown wash over the tops of these feathers, just to give them a little bit more depth. I think I'm going to have to go around with these feathers, so these are going to be, well, not necessarily. I can kind of keep them how they are on the inside. Maybe wash over it with a thin layer of brown, just so that way this color ends up being more of a highlight. That might be kind of nice. But I really like the detail, like making it pop like this. A small part of me feels like, well, it might be just, you know, over-exaggerated colors a little bit. But at the same time, when you're fighting against an owlbear, when you start seeing something that's, you know, out of place, odds are you might not be seeing it for long. Because these guys, they don't mess around. You don't get a lot of time against an owlbear. No. The heck with it. I'm gonna go for broke. I mean, I'm gonna leave some spots a little darker like that, but I mean, doing a kind of like an accent. Nice. I'm wondering if I'm gonna have enough paint. What did I mix this with? This was the yellow and parasite, I believe it was. I haven't touched the tanned skin yet, I think. I might have to go back through and rewatch a bit of the stream just to find out, because I don't want to mess up the color scheme too badly. As it stands at the moment, I don't know if I'll have enough paint to cover both wings. Yeah, I definitely won't have enough paint to cover both wings of this owlbear. I'm gonna have to make some more. No, too much there. There we go. That's actually kind of nice. A little bit of brown and yellow mixed in there. I might end up doing the inner feathers here, maybe a darker, like some brown mixed with a little bit of black. But in the meantime, I can really make this guy's feathers pop. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. I think I've just been using too much paint as I'm starting sections. If I were to be using a bit less paint as I begin... Okay, I almost did it again. I use a little bit less paint. Allows me to get a little bit more accenting color on it. And less just like overpowering. It's looking really nice on the tips there. I really like that. I'm just kind of filling in at the moment. Just adding more and more and more color. Ah, nuts. Oh. It'll just be a bit more color along the bottom. Those feathers, just like on this one, it's more colored in, whereas this is more accent. Yeah, definitely gonna have to go back through a couple of spots with a bit of the darker brown. There. Yeah, just add just a touch more. Tips here. And then I'm gonna leave that for a minute. Clean out this brush. Then start to contemplate, do I want to make it darker on top? I think I really do. As far as his fur on some parts of it as it goes, I might do a little bit more. But at the moment, I'm going to be be turning off this one camera up here, just so that way I can take a couple of quick pictures of the bear. You know, the boy. That way I can add it to the slideshow here. So, this camera, be back in a sec. It's kind of handy having this thing going like this. Huh. Well, I had a trial going for this, so I guess I can't use it anymore. But, well, we'll see. You know, I really like this. I really like this app, so I might just use it. I mean, it's kind of worth, you know, like, I mean, it's $10. Huh. You know, I'll think about that a little bit. Yeah, I'll think about that a little bit. In the meantime, picture time. Mr. Owlbear. Here we go. But even though it says, oh yeah, you know, you only have the low-res video of this, I mean, I'm okay with that. Let's see. Let's see just how different it makes it here. Okay, you should be connecting. See, I think that'll work. Yeah. Oh, that's, I mean, for $10, I might just buy the better version of this thing. Just because I kind of like it a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up purchasing the full version of this thing, because it really dropping off the frame rate like that is kind of annoying. Oh well. But let's resize this thing then, since it's messing with that. I'm gonna resize this. And then we'll get back into voice defaults. And if I remember correctly, I did a filter on this, so I'm going to remove that filter. There we go. So we're a little bit more centered, but kind of messes with sizing there. So, going to readjust. Yeah, it's 640 by 480. About all it really can give me. Bummer. I really like the ability to be able to use my phone for the camera though, so I think I will probably make the purchase. And then I can, I mean, granted, the frame rate is kind of funky for this, but it's really nice when I have the full thing going here. So if I do the full purchase thing, I can get rid of this watermark, and it'll be a little bit nicer. But in the meantime, here's our boy so far. Seeing the colors on this, I might actually do another lighter color up on the top feathers here. Yeah, if I do like a lighter color, more the tan, peach, peach skinish. I think that might look a little bit nicer. But we shall see how this plays out. I think that would just be too bright, you know? But the nice thing about it is at the moment, I can actually do that on the pads of his hands. So now that this brush is dry again, I'm actually going to use that, and I'm just going to put it on the pads of his hands. You know, get the bear aspect of this owl bear going here a little bit. He's going to have some rather bright palms. I mean, this is just straight dry brushing right here. Not even really putting in a ton of variance at the moment. I'm just kind of getting the paint to fill in with some color. It's not fantastic, but it's a good start, and I can add a little bit more variation to the color as we go on. I'm probably going to make his little claws here, probably going to make those a bit more like ivory colored. Let's get into the skin a bit here between the fingers. Because he's definitely going to have like the brown fur and everything coming around. But giving the hands a good bit of variation in color in here would be a little bit nicer. I think that looks pretty good for it to start. That definitely gives it a little bit more color. Yeah. Kind of breaking into the fur just a bit. So, I'm gonna have to get in here for the other one. Really small little spot. So, let's see if I can finagle my fingers in there well enough. I'll try and angle that a little bit more towards the camera. Come back around here. Still try to be able to see everything. While at the same time, giving a show. Because that's why everybody comes by here, is just entertainment value, right? Not necessarily a great painter, but I can provide entertainment for you all. Keep the focus going. It's kind of nice. I have to make sure that the coating is a little bit thicker. Because this guy doesn't really seem to want to take second layers as easily as the first. But he's taking it nonetheless. Not so much like a chimp, but not much like a chump either. Gaps between the fingers, just to accentuate that it's not all bare. Not entirely sure how I feel about it, but good palm work, I think. So then, what do we want to do with these feathers? Up there, do I want to add a bit of gray in with the skin tone here? Just tan. And just see what that gives me. Sort of like stone skin. Ah! D&D puns. It's not great. Still pretty much the same color. Doesn't really change it much. I don't know what I want to add to it. Maybe a drop of brown? Maybe 2 drops? And we'll see what happens to it. Yeah, 2 drops of brown. Let's see what happens. Does it make it too dark? Let's just turn it into brown. I don't know. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. It didn't really change it much at all. But I like it. I like what it's given me. So I'm gonna work with it. And I think I might do this one under the microscope. So, adjust the camera back here. Yeah, this is actually a little bit nicer. Being able to see feathers in detail like this. It's a lot more focused, so yeah, I'll turn this camera down. Turn down for paint. Yeah, I'm liking the idea that I used the just the regular brown as like an undercoat base layer. That way the base layer just kind of holds as I'm going over all this. So if I make the paint just a little too thin, that brown peeks through just a bit. But I'm definitely gonna have to mix a couple of spots that I missed. Very theatrical. And then we gotta go under here. And this will actually kind of blend into the hands, which is kind of nice. So it sort of gives like a transitional effect as it goes from the feathers into the claws. It's kind of nice. I like it. Scratch an itch. Been having trouble with your internet? I'm sorry to hear that. But I'm glad to have you back, Amy. Cool light? Yeah, it's pretty much just the magnifier in here. I wish I could show off the magnifier a little bit better. But it gives me a good close look at the minis that I'm working on. Oops, I definitely have way too much paint on that brush. I have to pull paint off of that one feather to cover the rest of them to even that out a bit. Oh man, this is not going to be fun trying to get under here again. Especially with trying to get these tiny details in here. This is gonna be a tough one. Your mom might have it for sewing? I mean, it's possible. It's actually really useful. My uncle actually gave me this for Christmas a little bit over a year ago. Like, not Christmas this year, but I think Christmas last year. And I just hadn't really been painting, so I hadn't really used it for a while. Then I decided to try it out. And, oh man, it made a huge difference when I was painting, like, the tiny little minis. It pulled everything real close. It gives a lot of nice detail for trying to get in here. Ever since they made you upgrade your modem, you've been having issues? Yeah, unfortunately I can't really skip, because this isn't a song. This is, it's sort of like a background music generator. So all of the music that's going on in the background is from an app called Sirenscape, and I can't really skip anything because it's all one track. So I can adjust some of the things, but what I think you're hearing, it's not actually praying. It's just like somebody kind of like doing a makeshift song in the background. Because it's a marketplace and there's a bard that's just trying to make some spare cash, singing a few bars. But is it special paint? Not necessarily special paint. It's paint that's designed to go on plastics like this. You can buy a lot of it in like hobby shops, model paints and things like that. So all of the paint that I'm using on this it's called Master Series paint. It's essentially model paint by a company called Reaper, which actually is the same company that made this mini that I'm painting right now. Oh yes, I've still got to do the highlight feathers over here, which was this color. Yeah, you're not hearing things. It's just sort of like a background track, usually used for like role-playing games and trying to just kind of like set a mood for sort of like just like white noise kind of in the background for when you're playing games. But I find it's kind of nice for doing something like this, so that way it's not just silent in the background. See the face? You mean the face of the owl? The mini that I'm painting? I can show that in just one sec. As soon as I get around a couple more feathers here, I can zoom in a little bit more on him. Come on, just a little bit more. Last couple of feathers here. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Let's rinse this off real quick. Okay. So there is the face of the owlbear. A little bit hard to get in focus because it's so close to the camera. But he's basically part owl, part bear. All terrifying. It would be used to represent the character if I were to ever run a game where players encounter this kind of monster. So, you're wandering through the woods and you hear a hooting growl. You know that you are beginning to come close to an owlbear. Which I'm going to take another quick snapshot here, and I just realized I never actually put the snapshot into the other slideshow down there. I'm going to have to do that here in a second. Give me a quick second to take this snapshot. Okay. That might have taken the photo that I wanted. It's amazing detail on this thing. Let me just pop this into... Ah, there's the photo. So I can... Oh, excuse me. No, I didn't really like the way that that photo took. I'm gonna try and take another one of those. Just didn't really look like what I had hoped it would. So, I'm gonna try again real quick. I'm sorry to kind of pause stream while I take pictures. Ran into a family of deer twice in 2 days? Woo! That's awesome! Yeah, we still got our usual deer around here. Focus, no better. Oh. Thank you for sharing, Amy. I really appreciate it. Oh, that's a good shot right there. Let's see if photos pop up here. They should pop up on that so that I can transfer them over. Set the camera back. There we go. And I'll just save it directly into that slot. And then I can come back into this and then update. It won't let me auto update. Oh, there we go! Ha 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 ha! You can see the photos right over here of the current progress of the Owlbear. Oh, why is that upside down? Back is hurting? Oh man. Unfortunately, I can't really send it as a, I can't really send it as a Snapchat icon right now. I'd have to send it after everything. But I'm gonna have to go into the photos really quickly and fix that one because it's upside down. I don't know which one it was. Okay, so it's the most recent one, okay. The most recent one is showing up upside down. I do not know why. Because it shows up just fine here. Don't get it. Can I just rotate? Yeah, there we go. Rotate that. Then rotate, rotate, rotate. One more. There we go. That should be accurate the next time it goes through. But to be doubly sure, I'm just gonna double check. Just wait a few seconds here to make sure. You know, I might have seen some of her work. What was her name? Do you happen to recall? Because like I've really been into body painting. Oh, you know what? It's still doing that thing. Okay. You go away. And I'll re-add this directory. And I'll see what happens here. Let's see if it works. It's gonna take a second for that to change. Starts with an L? Or is that an I? I mean, I've been into body paint for a long while. I used to actually do it back in the mid-2010s. Dang it, it's still upside down. Ah. Okay. Okay. I am going to pause this one camera again really quick. I'm sorry. While the camera is off, I'm going to take that one photo and turn it upside down. That way it'll match. I'll see if that does anything. If it doesn't, I'll be kind of bummed out because that's actually a really good photo. Okay. Now, since that photo is upside down entirely, I'm gonna see if setting that one into into the slideshow does anything. Hard. I keep forgetting to put the camera back on. That should do it. There we go. And I'm back in very low res. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be buying that one, just so that way I can use the full 60p definition of everything. But, you know, this isn't really that bad. It's a little bit wonky if I do, like, large motions, but it's definitely cheaper than, buying, like, a $150 webcam. Okay. I'm going to replace that one. Let's see. I go in here, remove you, then re-add. Let's see if that works this time. I try to take all of my pictures vertically, and I think I took one of these with the camera upside down somehow. Now let's see, so that's 2 of them. Now let's see the third. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Eh, dang it. Oh. I feel like it's just not meant to be. Well, let's just remove that for now. And I'm gonna take another photo of it. Yoink. Camera's gonna go funky for a second here. Ooh! That's a good shot. Sorry for the camera wonkiness. I forgot to turn it off on the stream. That should be okay, I would think. Let's save that there for now. This one that's upside down, I'm just gonna get rid of. And then I'm just gonna add these in here. And we'll see what happens. They're all facing the same orientation. So we'll see. And I'm actually going to change that setting so that way it's rotating through on a slightly quicker pace. I had these like every 10 seconds it would change. Or every 15 seconds I think I had it they would change. So this way I can let it run. Why? Why? Why you do this? I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna add the pictures themselves. And we'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, you know what? Screw it. You know what? If I bound it to 4:3 aspect ratio, that should work. Because all my pictures are being taken at 4:3. But that's all I can really do at the moment. Unfortunately, if this next photo is upside down, I don't know what I can do about it right now. I still need to go through and start uploading all these pictures to... Yep, it's still upside down. I don't know why. I don't know what I can do. There's nothing I can really do with that one unless I don't know if I can change that one in particular. Can't. But it's really perplexing. I don't know why. But I have the photo. And that's what matters for right now. I'll just I'll add it online. Probably throw it up on Insta. Let's see. I don't want to do a light pink for the inside of his ears. So I think I'll just, well, this red is completely, or this black is completely bone dry up here, so I'll just add in a little bit red. Then just touch it with the white. Come on. Doing this to me again, Aria? I had issues with this last time. I'm pretty sure there's something stuck in there. Yeah, there's either something stuck in here, or it's just not wanting to be cooperative. So, I'll just mix it by hand. Still too red, not enough pink. So, mix in some more red. I'm trying to get sort of like a fleshy pink for the inner ear. There we go. That's better. Oh yeah, this is why I specifically went and bought another red paint. Or not red paint, white paint. Because this one is really getting on my nerves. Okay, pink, 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 pink. Need small brush. Just to get in there. Just to give, you know, a little bit of fleshy goodness. I gotta add some tan to it. It's too vibrant. I just sprinkle in a drop of tan. That might do it for it. Yeah, that's a little better. A little bit more subdued. A little more fleshy. That's too hot pink. Yeah, still a bit hot pink. I think I'll get this down. Just kind of touch. Just kind of touch it with some of the brownish here. In fact, that's actually even a better color. I'm still going to keep the pink in there. Just to keep it a little bit more fleshy. But that's a little better. Yeah, that's much nicer. Giving him a little bit of detail so that way he has a little bit of fleshy tone into his ear. A little bit nicer. Oops. Grabbed a little bit too far in there with that brush. Next thing I'm gonna need is, you know what? I'm gonna get his claws. I'm gonna get in there with some ivory on the claws. But I still gotta figure out what I want to do for that beak. Not sure what I want to do for the beak yet. Wait, I forgot. That's the white. I want the ivory. Which I haven't shaken yet. At all. Oh, give it a good shake. Whoa, everything's fuzzy looking through their camera right now. Or not camera. Magnifying glass. Okay. Need a fine detail brush. So something really small here, a 5-0 brush. And I can just kind of dab this, put it over the tips of his claws. Oh, that is very vibrant. That's a lot more vibrant than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, it's too ivory. So I'm going to take some of that off to the side. Clean out that brush real quick. And you're clean, right? Yeah, you're clean. Mix in some of this. That's much nicer. That's nicer. Get rid of some of the excess water out of that. Oh, that's pretty much still his hand. Okay. More ivory. I want it lighter. 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 But I still want to give it enough hint that, yeah, that's a little better. Kind of like if you've ever looked at a dog's claws is kind of what I was thinking. Where it's like it's still fleshy, but it's not vibrant white. I want to make sure that he has claw, but not, you know, like, oh yeah, here's this very vibrant white colored claw that's never come into contact with anything. It's like that would just be too clean, you know? Gotta have and a little bit of wear. Let's see, a little bit more in here, right? Yeah. Down wire here. Oops. Nearly forgot the entire side of his claws here. That would have been bad. And I was basically staring at it from the other side, so it's kind of understandable that, I wouldn't notice it. But down here, those are definitely going to be more brown claws. They're not going to have as much tan as these are. His feet are definitely going to be more dingy. But I might actually just go back over these with a bit of like a beige wash, like a wet brush with beige, just to bring the tone down a bit. While this kind of works, it's still too bright. I mean, you're a bear living in the woods. You got nothing to survive with but whatever your body can handle. So, you're gonna be clawing at things, ripping and tearing. You're gonna be walking around on all fours. It's gonna be mud. It's gonna be dirt. So, your nails are not going to be clean. You're not going to be able to get a owlbear mani-pedi or anything like that out in the woods. Yeah. I mean, I think that's okay for now. I think that's okay for now. I'm not ecstatic about it at the moment, but I could just add a little bit more beige to it. In fact, let's mix in some more beige. Make this a little bit dingier. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, that's kind of more what I was hoping to get. But I'm not going to overtake the entire thing with this color. I'm just going to kind of blend it in there a bit, Let the whites kind of take over a bit. Just a bit, Yeah. Like it's still a claw, but it's not like, oh yes, here's this very vibrant white clawed figure who's never made contact with the ground. Got a little bit too much paint into this brush here. I'm gonna have to give all these guys a good scrubbing once I'm finished for the night. Okay. The beak. The beak, I kind of feel deserves, you know, more dinge, more brown. More brown. So since I've got those claws all done, I'm just gonna mix this in here. Then a bit of yellow, just a touch. Just touch it with it. Yeah. Paint a bit more yellow. In fact, I might use this color for the feet as well. Yeah. Kinda digging it. I dig it. Dry. Good. So let's get this beak. That's actually kind of nice. I really like that for the beak. Just a bit of contrast, but not terribly so. Like if I do it thin, doesn't seem 100%, which is good. And then I am still going to have to do like some of that pinkish in his mouth. Rather weird looking at this thing in terms of how it actually functions. Because, like, how do you close this beak? It doesn't really make sense biologically. Like, this doesn't look like it should function. Then again, these creatures were created by magic, so I guess everything's fair game. I'm just gonna go in, pull that right there. Bit more over the top of this. Yeah. Yeah, because like that one layer just didn't really seem to want to make it stick. You know? There we go, that sticks a little bit more. That's looking nice. I'm really liking how that looks. Yep, after all those votes, it's finally time to paint the bear. And he's coming out pretty nicely so far. I really appreciate that, DJ. Like, I've been a little bit up and down with some of the different color decisions at the start, but it's really starting to grow on me here. By the way, how's your night going? Well, I hope. That's actually really nice inside the ear there. That makes me really happy. Giving that little tinge of fleshy color on the inside of the ear. Oh, and I just popped my knee out. Oh, that stings a bit. You know, let's see, that black is solid. I'm not gonna mess with that right now, but his eyes are definitely gonna be like black. So a little bit more. You're out of here, man? Oh, well, thank you for stopping by, man. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you stopping by. I hope you have a great night, a great night's rest. And if I... well... I can't think of anything else to say. Just take care, alright? Words are kind of failing me tonight. Then again, they don't really ever not fail me. You know? I gotta do his butt feathers. So while I do his butt feathers, I'll put him on the stand. Yeah. Oh, that looks really nice. Really liking the colors. Yeah, butt feathers, before they dry. Before it all dries. Before all the paint dries. Oh yeah, I gotta do that too, so... just fix this up right here. That's not the right color brown. Is it? I don't even know. And that works. That works. Kind of blending it in there. Yeah, that's not the right brown. I'm gonna have to just put a drop of straight brown up here to fix in a couple of things. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. It's gonna be a kind of a fun day. Get to play some D&D with new friends. Really great community that I've been following for, it's been close to 8 months now, I think. I can't have him on there while I'm painting his butt feathers. Because his butt feathers go underneath. Yeah. So, we'll just... put you in here. Get a nice thick viscous coat going on some of these feathers. Damn, boy, this paint is thick. Too much, too much, too much. I have to keep reminding myself. Less paint, more coat. I kind of like this just little combination of the brown as the sort of like the detailed sections of the feathers. Really kind of nice. Like giving the spines a little bit more of a pop. Let's see. Let's try something a little bit interesting here. Let's mix a little bit of the pink in with that and see what happens. Doesn't really change it much, but it changes it just a bit. I don't like that, just a slight change in color there on the tail feathers. It's a little bit hard to see at the moment, but it's there. Trust me. Well, since we're mixed up with the pink here, might as well get that mouth filled. That way we can see what that mouth do. That's good. And right, so his mouth is pretty well taken care of. The mouth is relatively easy to deal with. It's just want to kind of do a little bit more, something different for the tongue. But I'm not sure I want to just add red to that. I kind of want to see what a little bit of gray does to the tongue. Just a little dab. I don't know how I feel about it. Bit of pinkish gray could be kind of interesting to see. Yeah. I'm okay with it. Not as okay with all of the water that's in this brush. Oof. Out damn spots. Did I just paint the outside of his mouth? I bet a bit. Okay. Pull that a little bit. His tongue's a little creepy, I think. but it works. I like him. Oh, I forgot his talons. Shoot, 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 shoot. Eat them toes. Yeah, this was the beak color. Which honestly, I'm kind of liking this color enough that I might just put this over the hands as well. If I have enough. And honestly, I might. But it might be really close, and I don't want to start it if it's going to be that close that I'm concerned about it. Yeah, that gives a nice little bit of contrast on them toes. Focus camera. There we go. Yeah, see, it's just a little bit of contrast. Provides just enough. Just enough contrast that it stands out amongst the rest of the bear claw aspect. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have enough to do the hands as well as the feet. I think the hands might remain the color that they are. I mean, it's not a bad color. It's just not as cool as the feet. The feet just look nicer. You know, maybe that's something kind of funny that I could do. It's been kind of a running joke in the community that I've been kind of mentioning that, you know, talk of feet pics. Because funny. And I mean, it is a genuine community out there. But I wonder about the Owlbear feet pics. I think that might be kind of something funny to send to the group. It's like, hey guys, I got some feet pics for you. Owlbear feet pics. Kind of the nice thing about this mini is that, like, once I'm done with it all, if, you know, say I'm just like, oh, I missed a spot in this little tiny crack somewhere way in here. Since I'm using base brown for most of the body, I can kind of, you know, fill it in if need be, relatively easy. Just a little bit more in there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Got them toes. Looks really nice. I'm actually really happy with that. So now, just gotta clear you out again. That way I can get in there and get them eyes. That really crisp black. Because this is definitely a character that is, like, Yeah, it needs jet black eyes. Wasn't even really trying to push that out, but come on, pop. There we go. Jet black. I was even contemplating when I was considering some of the paints for this job. I was like, do I want to get like a glossy black? Because like the one that I have is relatively matte black. And I was thinking to myself, it's like, if I put a glossy black on these eyes, like even just also eyes going forward, doing a glossy color would be really, really cool. It would really stand out. Oh, hush, phone. There we go. Glossy black eyes. Really neat details on the feathers. I'm really happy with that. That looks really cool. I mean, for the start of this thing, I think this is pretty good. I'm honestly thinking I might have to... Yeah. I think for the moment, this is where I'm going to pause for the Owlbear. There's some little accents that I want to do, like he's got all these little feathers. Sorry. He's got all these little tiny feathers around his face. And I kind of wanted to give those a little bit of accent with my tiny, teeny brush. But oh man, it's looking really cool. And that is actually a really nice screen grab right there. Colors. It's the shadow, the fear of the Owlbear. That's really nice. I'm happy with this guy. I am genuinely happy with him. Oh. But I think with that, this guy might be done for the night. So. Yeah. You can't tell me that doesn't look cool. Got them claws, them feathers, that badass beak. Oh man. This guy looks good. I'm happy with this, really happy. I might do a black or a gray, yeah, probably a black wash over top of the main body. Yeah, I might do a black wash over the top of the main body just so that way it has a little bit more depth. And just kind of like just spots here and there just to fill in some of the like the low lights with that little bit of wash. And then I think that would be it for this guy. But that was a little bit more draining than I thought it would be, honestly. But, ladies and gentlemen, the Owlbear. Let me try and get them all in focus here. There we go. Oh man. I love it. I love it. Well, ugh. I am a tired boy, and I probably should try and get some rest early tonight. It was a good 3 hours. And I hope that everybody who came by had a great time. I hope that you enjoyed your time here as much as I have. And I look forward to whatever I end up painting next. There is, other side. There is a poll option right down here. There's a Twitch button that you can press that'll allow you to vote on what mini I paint next. I've got a few options up there right now. I think next week I'm going to revamp the options and see what all I can put in there from my collection, and maybe some more based on what I can find in the store. Once again, a friend of mine owns a game shop. I don't really get any deals, and he's not giving me any like sponsorship or anything for this. It's just that I really enjoy going to his store, the Gaming Goat, located in Parma, and really great atmosphere, great customers, great people, great clerks, and I've gotten almost all of my minis there, for the painting purposes anyway. I've gotten most of my paints from them, about half of my brushes so far. I'm probably going to get more brushes from them. But I can't wait to paint more for you guys. This has been quite a bit of fun. A great way to de-stress. But check out Sirenscape if you enjoy the music that I play for any of this. Everything that I use is based off of the free packs, but going forward I might start looking into some of the purchased packs just to add a little bit more variety into things. But definitely a great way to add a little bit of background sound to, say, a tabletop RPG, or just a stream like this where you don't want it to be just blank sound, but you don't want to have music, like songs, that'll be distracting. It's a great way to have something for background. But until the next time, I hope you had a great time here. I hope you come back for more. Please do give me a follow if you want to find out the next time that I go live. I come on every Friday about 7:30 or so Eastern Time. And I usually stream for about 3 to 4 hours, painting minis on Fridays. I'm hoping to add some more streams as time goes on. But until the next time, I hope you have a great night, great rest of your week. It was weird, my table vibrated. I hope you have a great night, a great rest of your week, and I will catch you in the next stream. Take care.